Good afternoon. Welcome to the International English Language Testing System. This is the mock speaking test conducted by Maulik English Academy. Today I am your examiner. My name is Ahmed Tazwar, and today's exam is divided in three parts. And before the main exam, I'll ask you some personal question. But before that, I'll need to check your passport.
Here you
Could you
go.
hand it over? Okay, thank you. Well, at first, tell me your name.
My name is Nurchatiswan Mohan.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Borishal. I was born in Dhaka, but my parents are from Borishal, so that makes me also from Borishal.
Okay, so would you tell me about your studies?
Well, I just finished my SSC exam.
Okay.
Right now, I'm not in any type of studies or in type of program.
So you're working now. Okay, so what are your hobbies?
My hobbies are reading books and listening to music. I love the literature. I love reading literature very much, and that's about it.
Well, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is black and white.
Okay, so let's move to the main exam. The first part is about health. So, is it important to you to eat healthy food?
Well, to me personally, I think eating healthy food is very important because, well, our health needs to be maintained very much. If we do not eat healthy food, then we might have different types of issues with our body, which can hanger our everyday life.
Yeah.
So, if you ask me, I always eat healthy foods. That's why I think that eating healthy food is very important.
Okay, so if you catch a cold, what do you do to help you feel better?
Honestly, usually when I catch a cold, I usually have herbal medicine or sometimes even herbal teas, which can help me with my coldness. I drink warm water for sore throat, and there is actually my grandma makes different types of teas, which can help me with my different types of illness. But specifically, if it's cold, I eat an apple or maybe some leaf, tulsi leaves to
Yeah.
help down my illness. But if it doesn't work, sometimes I eat medicine. But that is very optional because in my family is very herbalic, so we usually eat herbal medicines and all.
Okay, so do you pay attention to public information about health?
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, because if we say talk about public information, there are different types of public informations, like some in internet, some outside, like some from my family. If I get some from my family members, I usually try to pay attention to them because, well, my family will never want bad for me. But if it's in the internet, sometimes the information can be fake. So I try to avoid. But if I see that no, that it is quite useful, then I usually use it to my.
So what could you do to have a healthier lifestyle?
Well, I would actually want to make my lifestyle even more healthier because right now it is not enough. If I want a healthier lifestyle, I would eat a balanced diet, which is probably the first thing of having a healthy lifestyle. Then waking up in the morning, having fresh air. But because of my studies, I get to sleep really late at the night. So waking up in the morning becomes quite a tough. Also, going to bed early is another thing that I want to do if I want to have a healthy life. Most well, overall, I just want a balanced life where everything is parted, and I know that when I'm going to do one thing or another, I have a time for everything, so it can make my life also easy, also healthier and easier.
Okay, so that was the end of part one. Let's move to part two. Here I'll give you a topic and you'll have to talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes. I'll give you a tutor and some paper and a pen. You can take some notes which might help you with the topic. So here's your paper and here's your pen. And you have 1 minute. You have 1 minute to write something or help yourself out. So your time starts now. Okay, your time is up. I hope you're ready. So,
The topic here is very interesting. And if I want to talk about this topic, there was actually one time when I had to wait for my mother. We were supposed to go on a shopping trip, but she was running very late. So at that moment, I was actually in the middle of the road waiting for her, but the time was running out and I had to wait probably 30 minutes for her. It was actually very frustrating because I thought maybe something had happened to her. Maybe she was in an accident because of how late she was running. And she hadn't called me to tell me that maybe she was running late. So it was even more concerning. When I was calling her, she didn't answer my phone. So, which only fueled my frustration even more. But I tried to stay calm. So when finally, she came. After 30 minutes, I was very exhausted from stress, thinking that maybe something had happened to her. But after she came, she told me that she was running late. Because she was running late, she couldn't answer her phone. That's why she was very late to our trip. After that, we went to a shopping spree. That's it.
well, that was the end of part two. Let's move to the part three. The first part is about arriving early. So, in what kind of situations should people always arrive early?
In my opinion, I think people should always be early in every situation, but sometimes there are particular situations where people should be
Even
really
more.
early, even more early, like school. You should always go to school early because you don't know when your school gates will close or open. That close, so that is why I think that there's also traffic jam in the road. So uh, going to some place early, which means you have a lot more time to go and at least take some rest or even just go there without having any hustle. Then there's also official works where you have to be early because, well, as I said before, traffic can hamper your travel. So that is why I think that people should go to this type of places early.
Okay, so how important is it to arrive early in your country?
In my country, it is very important to always be early in every situations because, well, we value time very much. And not only that, if you're going somewhere, some people might also be waiting for you. So by being late, you are wasting your and their time as well. So I think that going somewhere early can also save your time as well as the other person's time. That is why that is the virtue of our country to always be early in places.
Well, how can modern technology help people to arrive early?
Well, modern technology can help people arrive early in many ways, such as using, like when I'm walking, I can be very slow. Plus, if I'm going there by bus or sometimes by motorcycle, I'm a little faster than by walking. So, yeah, modern technology is helpful to people in many ways, especially on arriving early.
Hmm. So that's it. The next question is, what kinds of job require the most patience?
I think every job requires patience
Little bit.
because we don't know what type of job we're doing, but especially official works require the most patience because as- when you have a boss who is always pressuring you to do stuff, you have to have patience. If you can't have patience, then that means you will not be able to survive in that environment. Also, having patience can help you with not just your office, but also in your school or even just in general life. Having patience is something that you can use in every way. And yeah, that's it.
So is it always better to be patient in work or studies?
Well, I think it is very useful to be patient in work and studies because when you're solving, okay, let's start with problem. If I'm solving a problem and I'm not patient, I will not be able to solve that problem. So in studies, sometimes we encounter different difficult questions. If we're not patient, we might think that I do not want to finish this question. But if we're patient, we might ask some people's help, take help from the lecture book, or maybe just stand there for a few minutes, think about that question, and we will find our answer. As well as this also goes to officer work, because official works, because well, sometimes we need patience to complete our tasks. If we're stressed all the time, we might not be able to finish our work before the deadline. So I think it is very important to have patience in this type of fields.
Well, do you agree or disagree that the older people are, the more patient they are?
I think that I agree to the fact that the older people get, they become more patient, because older people have more experience of life. They know about the life more than we do. Younger generations are usually very fast. They want to do everything very fast, and they
Quickly.
think that stressing over things can quicken the thing they're doing, but it is not that. Sometimes when you have to be patient, think slowly about something, that way you will be able to do it properly. But if we're always quick and fast, we might actually mess up the things more, which is why older people always tell us to always be slow and steady and don't quick things. But yeah, I think older generation has more patience and more steady than younger generation.
Okay, that was the end of part 3 and also the end of our examination. Thank you for your time, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe.